What is up, you guys? It's T.
It's Cindy.
And it's Tea Time with Cindy. And yeah, we baited y'all with the last episode. Sorry. I know some of y'all wanted.
She hinted. Okay.
Yeah.
She was foreshadowing.
It was foreshadowing.
Yes.
I know a lot of y'all were expecting something else, but be happy about me and my house, okay, please. But you know, this is I'm not gonna bait you guys anymore. We're gonna talk about my big old divorce. My big old divorce, yes. Okay. But yes, I am officially divorced. Very exciting. I feel like a weight has really been lifted off of my shoulders. With it being finalized and all that. I was just very anxious for all of it to be over and done with so that I could...
How are you, T?
Oh, I'm good.
Okay.
Because, like the divorce is finalized, but it takes at least 2 months for it to be finalized. And then, if we're being very honest, like, I was grieving the relationship in, like, last year. So even though the divorce is finalized and I'm talking about it and like I girl, I moved on. You know what I mean? Like, it's been a long time, really. Not in the grand scheme of things. Like I mean,
did you expect this to happen?
What do you mean?
Like, how do you feel with everything unraveling and all this from when we first started to now? Did you expect any of this?
No.
It's like a surprise.
Yeah.
A slap to the face.
Definitely not expected, but I feel like it was a long time coming.
It was very unexpected.
It was very, 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 very unexpected. But it had to happen because I was not thriving. Like, I was not in a good spot for a very long time. And
when did you notice this? Like, when did you start to feel that you weren't being you?
For like a long, long time. Ultimately, whatever had happened in our relationship, all the actions that were taking place, I felt like it ended when I realized I was not a priority. I had needs that I felt like weren't being met. I felt like I wasn't a priority. I felt like our relationship wasn't a priority. And I just felt like I had been asking to be seen, to be taken care of. And I just wasn't receiving that, even though I feel like I held a lot of conversations for those things to happen, you know, and giving a lot of chances. And so after so many chances and after so many, like, begging, really, like, at some points I was begging. I was begging to be loved. And after being left, begging for that kind of stuff, I just knew it was time to go, because I would never make somebody beg for my love. And so when I went through that, I was like, what the heck is going on right now? And that's when I knew it was time to go. I was really depressed for a long time. I was so depressed since last year. It was really bad. I didn't understand why I was so depressed. I thought it was my job that was making me depressed. I thought I was having some sort of, like, quarter life crisis, you know, like, you turn 25 and things go crazy, right? Like, a lot of things were happening in my life that I just wanted to rationalize it, my sadness, for it to be something that I didn't want to admit. And I didn't want to admit that it was my relationship that was making me feel this way. And it just got really bad to the point where sorry. The reason why I'm crying is not because of that I'm mourning the relationship, not that I want him back. Not that I miss what we had. Like, don't get it twisted, y'all. The reason I cry when I talk about this is because I am reliving that version of myself that suffered so much. And I feel sorry for myself. Like, I feel sorry that I went through that, and I feel like I betrayed myself for tolerating everything. So I'm crying like a baby because I just love myself so much. And I don't ever want to be in a position where I never want to be in that position again, because it was pathetic. I should have just stood for what I believe in and respect my own values and respect myself enough to say, this isn't right and I need to go. And I could have done it way sooner. And it makes me so mad that I put up with it for so long. And I didn't have to, but I wanted to. And I thought I had to, because I really loved that person at some point. And so to come to that decision of divorce, it was really hard. But like, I just couldn't take it anymore. I just couldn't
sacrifice yourself anymore.
Yeah, I couldn't take not being valued anymore. I couldn't take yielding my beliefs and yielding my standards to somebody and to something that I didn't feel loved in. So yeah, I decided that I needed to go because I was just not being valued in that environment, and it just wasn't sustainable for me. And I felt like I wasn't being loved and valued and appreciated in the way that I needed. And then after I had separated from them, I came to find out that my trust was violated, and I was in shock. And I remember going to my friend's house, and I didn't even cry. And I was like, yo, like, I'm good. I feel so good right now. I don't even care. I couldn't cry. Like, I just couldn't cry. I felt like I was okay. The grieving process honestly started before I separated from him. It was when I just started picking up things. And it was pretty much a countdown, like, you give so many chances, and then just like, it was just so much. And so I really started grieving the relationship like months before. So by the time I had separated from him, honestly, I was feeling really good. Like, I really was. Like, I wasn't losing any sleep at all. And then when I realized that my trust had been broken, I remember that weekend I went up to Austin to see my friend, and I think it really hit me then. Like, I think the initial shock and adrenaline were off. So I remember we were at a restaurant, and like, I just started crying, and it was so embarrassing. But I just couldn't stop crying. We had to leave the restaurant. And like, I remember like just walking a few steps, and I just remember crying my heart out for the first time after I had separated from him, because I thought I was fine. I mean, I was fine until other things came to light. And I just was so angry because I was like, I was fine. I think that was the first time I had an anxiety attack. I couldn't feel my legs. Like, I couldn't even stand up. I couldn't walk. I was just laying there. I was like on the floor in that dirty stairwell, sobbing, the like visceral, guttural sobbing, just like screaming almost. And I was like screaming into my hands because I was just so distraught. I was distraught. And yeah, I couldn't even get up. Like, I couldn't feel my hands. I couldn't feel my lips. And there was this like ringing in my ears and like this like whooshing sound,
It was just so loud. And I had never experienced that before. I cried for hours and hours and hours that night. But then I'm almost glad that it happened the way that it did, because it's what I needed to be able to completely cut off any emotional ties to that relationship. It was like a veil had been lifted. I saw the situation for what it really was. It gave me so much clarity. It's like my mind was like, bloop.
Time to,
Yeah.
It's time to reset. Control Alt Delete.
Yeah, it was very much like, who are you? It was like, oh my God, you're a stranger. Who are you? And it was such a bizarre feeling. You know, it did mess me up. And it got me thinking, what did I do to deserve this? And what did I do wrong? Why me? But when someone betrays your trust in that way, it's not something that you did. It has something to do with whatever they're struggling with internally. It's not you.
It's not you.
It's not. It's really not.
And do you think that everything that had led up to that point, would you have walked away if things didn't come to light the way it did?
Would I have gone back?
Yeah.
No. For me to not be a priority in my partner's life, especially after marriage, that's a huge value that I hold, is that when I have a partner, they are my number one priority. And I feel like that's kind of like a duh statement. I don't know. That's very confusing to me that some people don't really see that, but when I realized that I was not being cared for and loved in the way that I was needing and that I was asking for, then why should I stay? Why would I go back to tolerating what was making me suffer? No, I wouldn't go back to a situation where I didn't feel like I was wanted, where I didn't feel like I was loved, where I didn't feel like I was seen, where I didn't feel like I was cared for. I would never go back to that situation. And then when other things came to light, that was the cherry on top. That was
Kind of help you push.
Yeah.
Like probably make the move too. Because I feel like as women, we have so much patience, so much grace for our partner. And it takes a lot.
It takes a lot.
A lot for us to finally let go.
Yeah.
But we, like you said, we start letting go slowly in the relationship.
Yeah.
But when it's that final moment, once you let go, you're never coming back.
No. So it was when I saw that I wasn't a priority. When I felt like I wasn't a priority, I was like, why am I in this relationship then? Because what is a relationship for? What is a partner for if not to be there for one another? And if my partner isn't there for me, then what am I doing there? It just doesn't make sense. So I had made up my mind that I wasn't going to go back, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot to push someone to that limit, to feel like they are forced to leave. I felt like I was forced to leave. I wasn't happy to go. I wasn't happy to say, like, we're getting a divorce. That didn't make me happy, but
it had to happen.
It had to happen.
Because you're losing yourself. You should never sacrifice who you are in a relationship, as we've spoken to in previous episodes. When you start feeling like you can't be at home within yourself and the person that you're supposed to be with does not make you feel safe, all of these blaring red flags, car alarms, horns going off, you have to go.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are going to say it's easier said than done, but listen to your body. Listen to the warning signs. Because, why put you through misery? You got married at 24?
Yeah, 24.
You're still so young. So young.
Yeah.
But it just shows that as women, we're really resilient and patience.
Yeah.
You're really resilient in giving grace to others when they don't deserve it, but it's okay because we love them.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think as a society, we have really let our guard down when it comes to establishing our boundaries and holding fast to those boundaries, because of course in a relationship there's always room for growth, right? And people make mistakes. I've made mistakes. There are ways that I could be better. There are ways that I can grow and improve for sure. But there are some things that just should absolutely not be tolerated. And I feel like people just, when you're in love, those boundaries get blurred, you know, those lines get blurred, and you don't want to admit that whatever's happening is wrong.
Listen to your needs and wants and boundaries. I actually had a conversation with a friend the other day about establishing her boundaries with friends and stuff, and it's very important too, because then you're putting yourself in a situation where you're unhappy. Then later on, because you continue to break your boundaries, you continue to be unhappy, you lash out later. With all the relationship problems happening there, you can see it all, but you keep putting up with it. And then guess what? It finally breaks and bends over.
It shouldn't
God
get to that
forbid.
point.
Yes. I think that's where a lot of people need to realize is when you notice the signs, the flags, it's okay to let go and walk away.
Yeah, it's hard, but it saves you so much trouble.
People shouldn't listen to outside whispers, talks. A relationship should always be between the two people, two persons. Family, friends should not be involved. But if you're too worried about what would family say, what would friends say, what would this say, then that relationship was never meant just the two of you, because a relationship is a sacred bond between the two. If you're too worried about that, then the relationship will never work to begin with. The fact that it had to go lead up to something bigger happening for you to finally let go is what's wrong with us as individuals. The fact that we
Tolerate
so much. Tolerate letting go of our boundaries and our expectations and stuff because we want to be kind and graceful to other people. But why?
Yeah.
Why is it so wrong to be selfish? To put our foot down and stand on our own ground to say, no, I will not tolerate you treating me like this. I will not tolerate you speaking to me like this. I will not tolerate you not being there for me when I need you the most.
Yeah.
Why is that viewed as selfish? And that shouldn't be viewed as selfish, because like if we don't establish the boundaries now, it'll become a snowball effect. And like
it builds resentment over time.
And you know how we all love to say like we should plant seeds to grow a garden, plant little seeds and stuff. There's also negative seeds too. If you plant the negative seeds, it'll grow into negative trees and flowers. Sad to say.
Yeah.
That's very detrimental to you. If you can notice those weeds in the beginning, then you should just exit out. So, for you to do the divorce, was it more so because you lost yourself, or is it because you just had no choice?
I felt like I had no choice. I felt like I was just being disrespected. Like I was not being respected in that relationship. It wasn't that I fell out of love, but it was because I love myself too.
Did you feel like y'all were just growing in different directions?
I don't think we grew apart at all.
Okay.
While we were still together in that relationship, I was still very much doing my own thing. I just didn't really have the time to do it, because I would be with him.
Yeah.
But I was happy being with him.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be with him.
Yeah.
But what I realized was that he didn't want to be with me. And that was when I was like, now I feel like I want to die.
Yeah.
Not because I wasn't feeling like myself. Or like, I didn't feel like myself because I wasn't receiving the love that I deserve.
Yeah.
And that's really what it was.
I'm learning a lot right now.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, because like I've always been under the impression that it's because, two people just grew apart. That's why they don't work together anymore. That's always been my perspective on how relationships when they end. But I've never seen an interview of because you were treated or the person was just not living up to, because like you've always hear other people being mistreated. Oh, it's because it was not me, it's him, or like it's like it's not him, it's me, it's type thing. It's not, no, he just didn't treat me right.
I think, yeah, a lot of times relationships do end because people do just grow apart. And that's fine. That's great. That would be a great way for a relationship to end. But that was not the case. I think I would have rather that have been the case. Because then at least we would have had
a more
civil, like...
ending.
Yeah. I think people say, like, oh, we grew apart just because they don't want to say the hard stuff.
Yeah. Because they want to be more neutral and be able to say, like, oh, we just, had different values, different this and that. But no, everybody, this is also coming into fruition for me too. A lot of people think that me and T are like besties. Like, we text each other every single day, and we know each other everything. We don't.
Yeah,
We
not
really
at
don't.
all.
No, but I love her.
Oh, I love you.
Yeah, well, I do love you.
I love you too.
And so she's teaching me a lot about relationships and other people and perspective. Because, again, at the end of the day, like, everybody has a different interpretation of what things are. There will never be the same interpretation of things. Like, for example, like this. I know in the world, there are people who are colorblind. This is blue to me. What color is this to you? Thank you for elaborating more about your relationship, because I've always had that mental thought that most relationships don't work out because people grow apart. I don't want to bring up the topic of domestic violence and stuff, because that's where people are really shitty to physically hurt someone and all, but I've never seen the perspective of your type of, and I'm not saying it's domestic violence at all, it's not, but I've never seen the way that how your relationship and in sense of being disrespected is a valid reason to also end a relationship too. Because most people would just wait for physical abuse or cheating or verbal, all of this and that. But to have all your confidence in yourself and your self-respect and all loving yourself so much to walk away, that's really powerful.
Thanks.
Yes. Because we were just talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
About how my... what's it called? My... Not red flag, my thing, my...
Non-negotiable?
One of the things that I need to
Boundaries?
work on,
Oh.
my boundaries, is when I notice the red flags immediately when talking to someone, I should immediately just end it. I don't. Because I am the type of person to just be like, it's okay, I can just
Deal with it.
Yeah. Let's see if I can just, maybe it'll get better. Maybe, we're just still talking. It'll probably get better because, we're still talking, blah, blah, blah. But if it's not sitting right in my heart, soul, mind, everything, and my body is like screaming at me saying that, hey girl,
Yeah.
it's time to walk away, we should listen to that.
You should listen. I remember, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
You're fine.
I just remember, like, the months that all of this was going on, I was so sick all the time. Like, I was so... I got so many colds, so many viruses, so many whatevers in those few months. More than I had ever gotten in my entire life. My body was literally rejecting whatever wasn't good for me. My body knew before I did. Like, before my heart realized. So, yeah, like, there are signs. Like, your body will feel miserable. There's only so much you can compromise before you lose yourself. If you compromise all of your values, then who are you? Like, what do you stand for? What's important to you? And you shouldn't sacrifice that type of stuff to be loved, because then they don't love you. They love the version of you that you created to make them happy. So
how were the steps on finding yourself again? What were the steps on finding yourself again?
what were the steps?
Lexapro?
It's really like it's kind of a hard, I don't know, it's kind of odd because it's not that I did anything extra per se, like anything different. I felt very alone anyway. You know, like I was already out doing my own things. Really, when I say like I was grieving the relationship before it ended, I really was. Like I had processed a lot of it. But doing things that make me happy, like hanging out with my friends, going out to eat, going to the movies, going to see concerts, listening to music, like it was all things that I had already been doing while I was in the relationship. So I wouldn't say that I lost myself, and I hope I'm not contradicting myself. I wouldn't say that I lost myself, but I did have to do more of what made me happy to kind of rebound that sadness, I guess. So like when I had broken up with him, I was kind of going overdrive. Like I was going out with my friends a lot more and just doing a lot, like going out to eat a lot more, seeing my friends a lot more, like that kind of stuff. And that kind of, it was like a do this or else you're gonna fall. Like do this or you will fall into that little depression pit. And I guess that's kind of what helped me heal, was to do the things that already made me happy, but just do more of it. And now I'm back to just doing my own thing, not like being by myself or whatever, because I still like hang out with my friends and all that. But yeah, I remember the first few weeks afterwards, it was definitely like a huge spike in social life, just to keep my mind off of it and remind myself of what does make me happy. And just not to say like avoiding it and not thinking about it, but why continue to think about something that doesn't serve me anymore? Why continue to wallow and be sad? Like I was already sad. I processed that. So why sit and be sad when already done being sad? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah. Healing is very weird. It's not
the same for everyone.
It's not the same for everyone, and it's not point A to point B. You still have your good days, and then sometimes you have your bad days. Sometimes you talk about your divorce and you cry like a baby. Not because of, y'all seriously don't get it twisted. The reason I cry is because it makes me sad to think that I had to go through that. It makes me sad to think that I put myself through that because I couldn't stand up for myself. And it's hard to do that when you're so in love, when you want something to work out so bad, but then you have to think, why do you want it to work so bad with this person that is obviously not aligned with you?
Damn.
Is it like, yeah.
No, because you just like reminded me all the times the past couple weeks of me crying.
Yeah.
Thinking about, I mean, as everyone know, I'm talking to someone, but damn.
Yeah.
Puts things to a lot of perspective. Because, like, it's true. Like, when you see the warning signs and when you get told that maybe your expectations is way too much or too high, to lower them, that's where you have to, like, whoa.
Yeah.
Hold up.
It's like,
let's take a little step back, because I will never lower my standards. I will never lower my expectations. If I'm too much, go find less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. When you start lowering your standards to be loved, what's going on?
Yeah, because like if you yourself know you can't meet my expectations, then fine. I'm gonna just go find somebody else, because somebody will.
Somebody will.
And I understand the whole point of crying about it, because you want it to work so much, because everything seems like it should work, but there are things that I'm not making it work, so it's frustrating.
Yeah.
And that frustrating feeling inside,
like you're holding on to a dream.
Yeah, and then like the only way you can let it loose is to cry.
Yeah.
You can either cry or scream.
Yeah.
Either or.
Yeah.
Crying just seems much more
socially
demure.
acceptable. I think the reason it's so upsetting is because you put expectations on something and you create a false reality.
Yeah.
And you hold on to that. And when you realize that that is not what is going on, it is just so disappointing. And it's sad. And it's sad when things don't work out the way that you want it to because you invested so much of your mental and emotional capacity towards something that didn't exist.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people will say like, oh, then you should stop having expectation, blah, blah, blah. But it's just like, it's good to have expectations
It is.
sometimes because like then you can see if they hit the check mark or not. And like, no, I know that's where the whole thing of going with the flow comes through. Because like now, it just sucks.
Yeah.
When you have expectations of how you want to be loved isn't met and now you have to end something, you know?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I will never lower my expectations. I can't. I did that so many times already.
Mm-hmm.
And look where it got me. Years wasted.
Look where it got me, boo.
Exactly.
I'm divorced.
And
Yeah.
I think it's okay to have those expectations because somebody out there will.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you know, you know.
And honestly, even if, like, you know, I would be totally happy to be in a relationship or whatever, you know, but, like, I know my self-worth and I know my value and I know what I bring to the table. And I am certain that there is someone out there for me that will appreciate me for everything that I am. And there will be someone that will make me their priority. And even if there isn't anybody like that, even if that person doesn't exist, I'm okay with that because I have so much love for myself and I have so much love for who I am that I don't need any more. I don't need that love and that validation from someone else.
Yeah.
Because I give that to myself. I prioritize me. And I prioritize me to the point where I left a relationship that was all that I knew for a very long time. And I think that's something that's really hard to come to terms with is when you are in an environment where you don't feel like you're being respected, where you don't feel like you're being valued, are you okay with that? Why are you okay with that if you are? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think people just want to be loved. I want to be loved. At the end of the day, I want to be loved. And I think that's why for a long time I was yielding to my standards. Like I was holding back on asking to be valued in the way that I think I should be valued because I just wanted to be loved. And then I think through that I definitely found a lot of, I don't know, I love myself a lot more now for being able to stand up for myself and like realizing what I do deserve.
You deserve a lot because you're a queen.
Period. Yeah, whoever, bookmarked that reel of me saying, I want a man that'll kiss my feet, like, why did y'all bookmark that? I mean...
Oh, no, I do.
Hi. No, just kidding. I know. But if...
No, it's okay to be selfish.
Yeah, it
and
is.
I'm learning to unlearn that. I'm learning that it's not okay to be selfish. Like, I need to be more selfish. I should.
Mm-hmm.
I need to stop being so passive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not saying that you personally are passive, but I agree. I need to stop being passive as well. Because it's so easy to say, like, oh, I stand on business. Because, like, in the general sense, I kind of do.
Yeah, but then when it comes to...
I divorced my ex. But, it's so hard because when you are passive, what are you being passive for? To be more agreeable? To be more likable? You really have to dig deep as to why you do certain things that break your integrity.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Because I think The funny thing is, my body knew that he wasn't the one. I already knew. But I wanted to try because maybe like my body is traumatized, you know? Like you're like trying to think like, okay, what if it's like my body responding like this because it's a trauma trigger? And so maybe that's why I'm just like, okay, maybe I just need to like just feel it out, just like test it out, because like what if I'm trying to unlearn my body trauma triggers? So that way, that's why I'm giving it so many chances.
Yeah.
But if there's something in the back of my mind gnawing at me saying like, hey, he really isn't the one, or like this isn't it, maybe I should start listening to that.
Yeah. I think we really doubt ourselves a lot of the times.
Because you don't know if it's trauma triggered or is it just your body is like protecting you. Now, how can we differentiate?
Honestly, I feel like my intuition was subdued a lot in the past because I wanted it to work so bad. So I subdued that. But it's almost like I became angrier because of it. And honestly, a lot of the times, anger is protection. When you get angry, why are you getting angry? You know, anger is like the surface level emotion. Underneath, what is it? You feel sad, you feel hurt, you feel betrayed, you feel disappointed. Like, what is triggering your anger? And so I feel like when I was so angry all the time, my body was telling me, you are being disrespected right now. Your values are being disrespected. When you're angry, the red flags are going off in your body. And that's when you need to dig deep and be like, why am I angry? Why am I angry right now? I'm angry because I'm disappointed at the outcome of this and this and that. I'm angry because I'm sad and those issues aren't being addressed. Yeah, I feel like we should listen to our anger a little bit more, because when you're angry, your body is telling you that something isn't right, that you're being disrespected in some way. Your boundaries are being disrespected in some way.
Getting flashbacks of all the times I've been angry. Because like I always notice like towards the end of a lot of my relationship, I'm always on edge. And I always think like
you're
maybe
being
like
pushed to the edge. Your boundaries keep getting pushed.
Like I'm thinking, oh, is it my period starting? Am I just being like difficult because this is this? But no, thinking back, like a lot of my relationship when it ends is because whenever I'm like upset, it's so many emotions, you know? And I become difficult to work with. And so pushes him.
Yeah, but it's just, I know I keep repeating this, but like anger is your body telling you that you are being disrespected in some way. I feel like when you're angry and you don't address what it is that's making you angry and you don't really understand it or just sit with it and listen to it, when you suppress it, you're suppressing. It's almost like you're suppressing your self-worth in a way. Like you're not listening to what your body inherently wants. And that's why I think, oh gosh, I don't know how to say anything without getting canceled right now. I feel like people will be so mad when I say like this kind of stuff. It's just that like people that don't get angry and stuff and are very passive and all that, guess what? They're the ones that are walked all over all the time.
Truth. That's the truth.
That is the truth.
No, but it's true. Because like if you're not voicing out what you want and your boundaries and you're not setting firm boundaries, you are going to be used. You are going to be picked on, as terrible as it sounds, because you don't know how to say no. And that's what, if that's going to upset a lot of people, then yeah, you are the type of person that needs to have firmer boundaries and you'll be more happier.
Yeah.
I feel like people who are, and I used to be that one of those people where I couldn't say no. It was hard for me to say no to, especially when it comes to relationship. I always felt like I had to do more in the sense of like be cooking, cleaning, sexual activities, and all that. Like I can't say no to my partner because I want him to love me. But that's when I started destroying and like forgetting my boundaries, my expectation, my standards, forgiving all of his fuck ups, so that way that if I can forgive him and show him grace, maybe he'll love me a little bit more. And there was nothing wrong with my love to begin with.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't the right person for my love to pour into. And when you start setting boundaries, and yeah, it's gonna suck, but you start pouring into the people that do deserve it, that are supposed to be meant into your life.
Yeah.
It's a lonely path. It is. But it's okay. I would rather have 5 friends that know everything about me, that I can rely and call up crying at fucking 1 in the morning, than 500 people that know about me but I feel like I can't go to.
Yeah.
That's something I've been struggling a lot, is reaching out to people when I need them the most. Because since moving, it has been a struggle. Finding the balance. And I think I latched on to the person I'm talking to right now so quickly too. Was nice, the fact that, you know, somebody constantly to talk to. Because, you know, when you talk to your partner, it's like somebody like, oh, he's my best friend, I can talk to him about everything, this and that. But why? I have friends for that. I do have my friends for that. I have you and Tina and everybody else for that. But it's hard to reach out. So, like, I think that's what my issue was when I was crashing out the other night, and I called him and FaceTimed him, and he was distracted. That hurts, because I'm just like, oh, dude.
You're
like,
being vulnerable.
Yeah, and you're being distracted, and you can't just put down your video game for 1 second to listen to me crash out.
Yeah.
And it puts into perspective about how much I value my friends more than a relationship. I value the people that are in my circle, in my tiny bubble, more than I value the people that are just there for a good time.
Yeah. And, you know, it is ideal to find someone that is your, you know, life partner, that who's going to be your best friend, that you can also smash. And I think that's not to say that that's everybody's goal. I wouldn't say that it's wrong for you to feel that way. I wouldn't say that it's wrong for you to want to have a partner that you can tell everything to, and that you can call up and rant to, and they're going to listen, and they're going to want to know what makes you sad. They're going to want to know what happened to you. They're going to want to be a part of your day. And
like, is it too much to ask to just be there for me?
It's
like,
literally not, is the thing. It's just that,
it's not like being physically there for me. It's just being there.
Just being present.
Yes. Because, like, it's the same thing when you hang out with somebody and all they do is just be on their phone. It's just like, what's the whole point of us hanging out?
It's like having, like, a shared experience with that person.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, it's just, like, one of those things where it frustrates me that it's too much to ask for sometimes. And I
But the thing is, it's not. And I just think that maybe this person isn't right for you.
All my wants and needs aren't too much.
They're not.
They're the bare minimum.
Literally, what the hell? Like, not even to, like, I don't know. I think being vulnerable is really hard. And I also think giving up your time for someone is really hard. So, like, both of those things combined, especially if someone is maybe not ready for a relationship, maybe they're, like, emotionally not as mature as you are, yeah, they're not going to want to do that. And if they don't want to do that, then they are not in the right, you know, headspace as you, and maybe they're just not the right person for you.
Yeah.
It's y'all got to remind yourself sometimes the problem is not you. The problem is not you.
The problem is them.
Yes and no. I think sometimes the problem is just that people just aren't compatible, but we want it to be so because we want to be loved.
Yeah.
So instead of acknowledging that we aren't compatible, then we go back to, what am I doing wrong? Am I asking for too much? I think really, like, the simple fact of the matter is that they could be a great person. They could be an amazing person. They could be great to hang out. They could be such a fun time. But if y'all just don't have the same values, if you don't hold the relationship at the same level, if you don't hold certain things like quality time or, acts of service, like at the same level, then straight up, like, not compatible.
Yeah. It means it's time to cut the cord.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
It's okay.
One less viewer.
Just kidding.
Technically two less viewer because he watches it with his cousin.
No!
It's okay. He probably still gonna keep watching it.
Okay. Please. Thank you. We need your views.
We don't need it.
Yeah, fine, I guess.
We don't need anything. We're doing this for fun, remember?
Yeah. I want to know who bookmarked that video, though. Who wants to kiss my feet? Just kidding. Yeah, I don't know. And then, you mentioned something before that I kind of wanted to touch on too. It's like forgiveness, and how you were so forgiving in your previous relationships.
In past relationship, I feel we always lose ourselves in the sense of like, we will look the other way and just forgive every single thing they ever did to you because you just want them to love you. You'll forgive them for mistreating you. You'll forgive them for yelling at you. You'll forgive them for not loving you the way you want to be loved because you want them to love you. And if you show grace and mercy to them, you will have the hopes of that they will give the same back.
But is it really forgiveness if it's transactional? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's not.
Yeah.
And that was something that I had to learn the hard way. And that's what I've always done with a lot of my relationships, where I've always forgiven all the shitty things that my partner would do to me because I want to just be loved. And at the end of the day, that love is not worth it.
Yeah.
Having to kill myself over and over and over again, and having to rebuild myself over and over again. That's why now I have my standards. Now I know what I want in a relationship from a man. And so being told to lower my standards, to lower my expectations, for what? If you can't handle it, then go away.
Yeah.
And I've told this person from the get-go that I'm not here to play.
Yeah.
I'm not here to play games. I'm not here for a fun, short-term thing. I want to be loved. I want to be cherished. I want to be obsessed over. I want to be wanted. And when he said that to me that night, it was like a little while back, that should have been that's where we should end this. We should just end it. We should walk away. We're good. That should have been. But I need to stop being too forgiving.
And that's like a big thing was when people would ask like, oh, do you forgive them for what they did to you? And yeah, I do, in the sense that, do I let my emotions towards what happened to me affect my day-to-day life? No. Do I hold on to resentment in the sense that I want revenge and I want them to suffer and da-da-da-da-da? No. Like, I couldn't care less. Do I let how I feel control me? No. So in that sense, yes, I do forgive them. But forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean that you have to let them back into your life and that you will tolerate that behavior again. Forgiveness is unburdening yourself from the negative emotions that have been brought about because of the situation. Forgiveness is about you. It's not about them. When you, quote unquote, forgive someone and continue to let them treat you poorly, you will build resentment. You will let those emotions start to take over.
And really what that is not forgiveness. It's lessening yourself for them. And it's tolerating poor behavior. And so when people say like, oh, just forgive, you don't really know what the definition of forgive is, because you typically want that person to go back to that situation that they were in. Oh, like, let it go, water under the bridge, forgive them, like, forgive and forget. Okay, I'll forgive and I'll forget, but I am not going to let that poor behavior have access to my life again. And I think that's what people get confused about. And a lot of the times...
And sometimes you just forgive because you just don't want to keep the peace.
Yeah, but then is that really forgiveness? Because are you really letting go of those emotions? Are you really not being controlled by how you feel because of what happened? I feel like the word forgiveness is thrown around a lot because people don't understand what it is. When I was going through my divorce and people were asking me about forgiveness and all that stuff, I literally had to like Google it, because I was like, what does forgiveness actually mean? Because in the general sense, people think to forgive is to excuse that behavior, excuse it and then go back. But really, I think what people want out of forgiveness is comfort and peace, in the sense that things aren't awkward anymore. Like, oh, I don't know what to do because like now they're broken up and, you know, now it's just awkward. But if she forgave him, it'd be different, because then they'd be okay. And then I wouldn't feel so awkward. I feel like to ask people to forgive, and really like not knowing what the definition of forgiveness is almost a form of manipulation. Yeah, they did a shitty thing, but forgive them because you're a better person than that, you know? Like, forgive, have a good heart, let go of that resentment. Why? I was wronged, so why should I be not angry anymore? The math is not mathing. You know what I mean? So I just felt like it was very bizarre that people were asking me to forgive, to maintain peace, when it was like, I was the one that was hurt, you guys. I was the one that was hurting.
It's like you weren't allowed to hurt?
Yeah. Like, why should I lessen my boundaries? Why should I lessen my standards to make everybody else feel more comfortable? If y'all are uncomfortable by the situation, okay, be uncomfortable. How do you think I feel? Like, what? Like, and so I just feel like forgiveness is just so overrated, in the sense that in today's language, forgiveness is going back. Forgiveness is giving them another chance, going back to what once was and letting it go and water under the bridge. That is overrated. You can forgive and still hold your boundaries. You can forgive and still continue to not give space to something that hurt you. That's just setting boundaries. That's standing up for yourself. Why would I go back to a situation that hurt me? I unburden myself from those negative things. I do not want to be attached to those negative emotions. I have detached from those negative emotions. Why would I go back to that? That just doesn't make sense.
So I'm glad you brought up your friendships and all. I did want to ask, how did the divorce affect those friendships?
Yeah, through the divorce, I realized who my real friends are, for sure. I think the ones that were like telling me to forgive and stuff, they weren't standing up for me. They were telling me to excuse that behavior and move on so that they don't have to quote unquote choose sides and be uncomfortable. Like, divorce is uncomfortable for everybody. Yeah. Standing up for your friends, that's uncomfortable. Yeah. Being disagreeable, that's uncomfortable. But if that's what it takes to stand up for yourself, then I am uncomfortable as, like, you know what I mean? Like, I am okay with being uncomfortable.
with that. I'm okay with losing friends that see me hurt and still value their own comfort and their own peace with that. Like if they're not willing to make uncomfortable decisions, that's fine. Then don't do that for me, because maybe we aren't as good friends as you thought or as I thought. For my friends, I am willing to be uncomfortable. I am willing to be like, hey, that was wrong of you, you know? But if those people aren't willing to do that for me, then that's okay. Like, I don't want to ask that of them. And if they can't do that themselves, then maybe they don't, maybe we're not as close as I thought. So it definitely has reinforced a lot of my friendships as well, which is really nice. And it just sucks because, like,
You thought y'all had a great time. You thought people were on.
Yeah.
You were understood by them, but things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
And things happened the way it did. Granted, maybe they have their own reasons and agendas for it, but if they don't want to speak up, then you never know.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that, because if they don't want to speak up, if they feel like they can't speak to me, then that's okay too. Like, maybe you don't know me as well as you thought you did. You know? Because, yeah, I'm kind of crazy, but at the end of the day, I'm a very understanding person.
Yeah.
And I'm a very patient person. Oh my God. Oh my God, you guys. So, yeah.
A lot has happened since we started this podcast.
Yeah.
From day one, or episode 1 of season 1.
Yeah, a lot has changed.
A lot definitely has changed.
A lot has changed. A lot of friendships have come and gone. But in general, I think my life for a very long time has not been where it's supposed to be, because I was tolerating a lot
That you should be tolerating.
that I shouldn't have been tolerating. And maybe I wouldn't be where I am now. Well, I'm like rebuilding myself and all that. But like, I feel like, yeah, I was put in situations, I was put in relationships and all that stuff that didn't align with me, because I was just not standing up for myself. I just saw that like things weren't right, but I didn't understand why. And I thought it was me. And I'm realizing that maybe a little bit of it wasn't me. I mean, maybe some of it was too. I don't know, but I need to stand up for myself more.
We all do.
Yeah. Like, I stand up for myself in like the physical sense, yeah. But when it comes to boundaries and stuff, I think it is just because we want to be loved. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to, you know, and what's the easiest way to be loved is to be agreeable and to be soft and to say yes to everything and to not be difficult. But
I choose to be difficult.
I choose to be difficult now.
Honestly, like, if you ask the guy I'm talking to now, he'll probably say I'm difficult. Because I'm not going to be a pushover anymore. Because I don't want to be married.
Yeah.
And having to push over my feelings.
There are men that will put up with quote unquote difficult women. And it's because they have the capacity to, and the facilities to. They have the emotional bandwidth, the mental bandwidth, financial bandwidth. Hey, just kidding. But no, yeah, like, you're not difficult. You just operate at a different level.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's not to say that anything is wrong with them. That's not to say anything is wrong with you. Y'all are just
Incompatible.
yeah.
And that's okay.
Just at different levels. And that's the hard part. Yeah, so moral of the story, you guys, stand up for yourself and stand up for your values and hold your standards and your expectations, or else you will be in a relationship that builds a lot of resentment to the point where you just can't take it anymore. That's personal. I'm sorry. What I really need to say
What she meant to say is listen to your body and all the red flags, and
Yes.
you see them, stand on your ground, and sometimes it's okay to end things.
Stand on business for what you want, and it is okay to end things because it saves the both of y'all a lot of time and trouble.
And therapy.
And therapy.
Lots and lots of therapy.
Yeah. That stuff is expensive. But yeah, love yourself, you guys, because sometimes you're going to have to be alone. And when you are, you do have to learn to love yourself, because once you start lowering yourself for other people, that you're not receiving the love that you deserve. The end.
That's not how we end it.
Sorry. I'm feeling awkward. I was especially vulnerable today. So
She cried.
I did cry a lot. So you guys, don't make fun of me, please. This was my first time getting divorced, so it's very fresh and new.
That's such a weird sentence to say. I mean, to come out of my mouth. This is my first time getting divorced. I would hope that would.
I mean, I pray that, you know,
Never happens to
I'll
people,
I'll never have a divorce ever again. But look, I hoped and prayed that I would never have a divorce at all. And look at what happened. So sorry if I was being a little dramatic. So that is that. I am divorced, and I am divorced.
And I am still single.
And I was gonna say, and I am single, but I don't want to seem like I'm like trying to whatever. I'm divorced.
Welcome to the club, sis.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Oh my god. Oh my god. There's a lot. Oh my god. There's so much that I wanted to say on this podcast
What else do you
episode.
want to say?
No.
Why?
We'll save it for another time. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. See you guys next time. I promise I'm okay. Don't worry about me. Bye. Love you guys.